It's like you had that person write your speech for you. Wait, who did the painting for you? They did it themselves, And I think that's good. It's a pendulum, right? We're going to get enamored with the technology until it's boring.
This also just expands generally. I know this sounds quite big and we're talking about these big things, but just everything that you create, it's very, very tempting at the moment to just create something with AI and throw it up on your website, on your social media pages, or present it to the world, a presentation deck at work. But actually, I'm already noticing I'm attributing huge value and interest in things that I can identify as human made. I had a flashback a second ago, so we were talking about this idea of scarcity, to one of my favorite brands in the world. It's a clothing brand. And I was obsessed with this clothing brand. I'd spend a huge amount I don't spend money on clothes. I would spend a huge amount of money every time they came out with a new item. One day, the founder of the brand, and everybody knows this brand, he posted a photo from his factory. It was a video. And what I saw in the video was the shirt I was currently wearing as I watched the video in a massive bucket with 4,000 others of the exact same shirt. And in that moment,
fell out of love.
I fell out of love.
Exactly.
Because in my head, I painted this artisan picture of them sewing it. These two guys sewing it in their bedroom and then sending it to me.
It's probably what it was on the ad too.
I think that's what it kind of used to be. So I still had that image,
but it got too big. Yeah. The one thing that I've always understood, this is true for businesses, this is true for absolutely everything. Scale breaks things. Scale breaks things. In the military, they have special forces, special operating forces, Navy SEALs, SAS, all those folks, right? And there's a saying in the special forces that's basically special. You can't scale special, right? So you can take whatever training skills, whatever you have for the special forces, and you give it to everybody. It's not going to work. Special can only be small, and so scale breaks things. Scale always. Microsoft versus Apple. Right? So Apple wanted the highest quality operating system in the world, right? So what did they do? They refused to clone, right? They wouldn't clone their operating system, and they, as a result of refusing to do that, they never, for years, Apple had in the height of the PC wars, maybe 4% of the world's operating systems. Microsoft said, we're happy to clone our operating system. So it was a little bit different on Dell, it was a little bit different on IBM. Wherever you use it was slightly different. And they had 90-something% of the world's operating systems. It's because you have to trade quality for scale every time. There's a reason why buying fancy goods for a lot of money, because as you said, the way you make things has to change, and you have to start making them in factories, and you have to scale breaks companies. Think about how beautiful companies are. The number of companies that talk about, our company's like a family. Get to about 150 people, 200 people, get to Dunbar's number. Not so much of a family anymore.
I think B2B marketers keep making this mistake. They're chasing volume instead of quality. And when you try to be seen by more people instead of the right people, all you're doing is making noise, but that noise rarely shifts the needle, and it's often quite expensive. And I know, as there was a time in my career where I kept making this mistake, that many of you will be making it too. Eventually, I started posting ads on our show sponsors platform, LinkedIn, and that's when things started to change. I put that change down to a few critical things. One of them being that LinkedIn was then, and still is today, the platform where decision makers go to, not only to think and learn, but also to buy. And when you market your business there, you're putting it right in front of people who actually have the power to say yes. And you can target them by job title, industry, and company size. It's simply a sharper way to spend your marketing budget. And if you haven't tried it, how about this?